Not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll run it with Williams. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop it right around the 1.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Packers have taken the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense set to take over. Charles, 3-12-1 for them in 2019. Matt Patricia will be back for a 3rd year. They'll be picking 3rd in the draft, by the way, but this season really got off to a rocky start in Week 1. They had a lot of close losses, but that seems to be the storyline every year for Detroit.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because you mentioned Week 1 at Arizona, big lead in the 4th quarter, ended up in a tie. Arizona walked away feeling like the tie was good. For Detroit, it was bad. But they picked themselves off the map from that one and won their next 2. They were 2-0-1 at home against Kansas City. Lost a close one, and as you noted, that was the pattern for the year, and finished up 3-12-1. And I think they led in 14 of the 16 games they played in 2019.
That is hard to fathom. So now the question, you know what I'm going to ask, where do they go from here?
Well, they feel good about the offensive side of the ball and their coaching staff, but a lot of changes made on the defensive side. I would expect head coach Matt Patricia to be even more involved with the defense now. That's his expertise, and he needs to fix that side in order for this team to become contenders again.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 40. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Stafford now to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, and then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Open man is Galladay, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 27-yard line. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guy.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this will be caught inside the 10. What a grab. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. A final shot before half for Rodgers. Got a man. That's Allison. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated. Ready to go for the second half. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Stafford. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Stafford now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? That they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receiver.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. Prater on to add the extra point.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now Rodgers eluding the pressure right. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown, Packers! Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 42 yards. And the Packers have retaken the lead.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that will make this a 4-point game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Here's Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 13 yards there offset some of the penalty yardage as it's second down. On second down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jesse James. 63 yards as his guys are able to regain the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. And before they can get the play off, here's a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball. That's their first of this second half. Now Prater to add the PAT. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the third quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, there weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
And we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he hits his target, the tight end Lewis. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 37. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent. And weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 30, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Prater on to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's third down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. And again, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Look at the big man rumble. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Mercedes Lewis, 63 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just one score. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Stafford. This complete to Jones. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Back to throw, and this one's incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Back to throw. And able to find Graham, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Let's go, team! It's gonna be a long day, offense! 26! Watch the shit! Watch the shit! Hey, watch the shit!
Now Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Packer first down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
He's back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. A field goal try would be almost 50 yards from this spot. So what can they do to get closer now on 3rd down? They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. A play for the ages. It's a touchdown to win the Super Bowl on the final play. Sometimes it comes down to one final play, a dramatic finish to this one.
And no player will ever admit to, hey, this is how I want to win a game. But behind closed doors at night as they're going to sleep, they do think about those dramatic endings. And how about that one? Go up and get it, Hail Mary, and sprint to the locker room with a victory that you didn't look like you were going to get.
That is the epitome of the highest high and the lowest low in the game of football. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back home. The Green Bay Packers are your Super Bowl champions. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And